Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps...
It seems like there's another event going on at the Court of Fontaine! Look at that!
I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit.
No, not at all. I have only the fullest. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chiyoria boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today? Oh, you've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to always keep your promises. Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. But from the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
Oh, I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today!
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear outfits for kids?
Hey, Paimon's not a kid!
Oh, that. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Ugh, Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun. But it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place.
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous Fashion Week that our label first took.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more all that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chiyoria designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for...
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense...
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Ugh, something like that.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you concerned that your shipment might...
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Komani Express's most...
Excuse me. Coming through! Coming through! Chiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so I'm...
Deep breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. Wait a second. This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it?
So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders?
Well, I didn't run into anyone.
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
all right. I was stopped by a group of bandits. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express.
So it was a targeted hit?
I got the sense that they were actually targeting
My fabric shipment?
Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
Oh, I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my... Is there something else that you're keeping from... Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to...
You always know how to get me, Chiori. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me. So, one of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept...
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't...
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara. But if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to.
All right. The guy said that the commissioner would...
Uter. Know that name?
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want...
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it...
So he's like a business rival.
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square. But I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well...
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey.
Chiori!
And she's gone.
Oh no. What should we...
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on. But with her fiery temp, Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for me? As a form...
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest...
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing... Oh? And I see the Traveler and Paimon are here.
Chevras, we meet again.
Well, things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of... I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol.
Well, you were one of the leading roles after...
So, did something...
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually...
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Okay. A man hired a group of
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the Special Patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or...
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything too out of line.
Are you planning to?
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this?
Follow me.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that. This should be the place.
You know, Chevras, Paimon gets the sense that you...
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work.
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The Special Patrol needs her help quite often as well. We've got tough problems of our own. The uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. lips sealed so tight, getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk up new developments in their lives or show off. As a result, Shiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop. Most of her customers are
You scratch my back and I'll scratch...
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her, and in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from So, who got on her case this time?
Oh, so this is what...
Huh? Uter, you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick, so he's back at it, huh?
Whoa, what's this?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but...
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing. Oh, it appears you've forgotten what I told you before. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again...
Chi.
Officer, an assault!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
Forget it.
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out...
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourself?
That's all from me.
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon! How did he just...
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened?
Oh, not if I could help it, is what... I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything...
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way...
You could have reported him to the guard.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had any... I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara's going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can do is guarantee... Oh, that reminds me.
What a shame. I believe you've already...
Have I? Well, it's a good thing
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You...
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward!
We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never...
Sorry, Chiori.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits... The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rusula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your good. I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal.
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses.
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Well, if you think it's a
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good.
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say,
But of course, they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chiori brand, yes?
Well, I mean, with the amount of places that I deliver to...
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the...
all of it?
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chiori branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as...
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's...
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to... Oh, what is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll...
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the...
Sounds easy enough.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to...
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and... I don't know.
Yep, sounds good. Wait.
You're here early. I haven't even opened the...
Wait, has Kirara...
Yep, with the special patrol. Brightener.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single... I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara.
Sounds like Navia really got it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she...
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, that same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique, well...
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for...
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a market the size of... Well, would you...
Oh yeah! Come on, let's get down to business! We're here to...
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits.
Set them up?
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way...
Whoa, there sure is a lot...
Well then, I'll leave the displays to...
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Not bad. You might just have enough. Anyway, over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been, Reese? Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or...
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori. But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already...
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything...
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now?
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel, no one to take you to the ball. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the...
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
That's true. Come.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this
Oh. Could I...
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I...
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too...
No need. You don't have to concern yourself.
And I'd be happy to process that for you.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my...
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What? Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day...
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more... Please, calm down, sir.
What is it?
Haven't you heard? Chioria Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals.
And just who is it that dares to throw...
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sorts...
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead.
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why. And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Chiori.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure the real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and...
If you say so, but...
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new design...
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not...
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during fashion...
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll
Even the suppliers believe those
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't be...
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Yeah, and we can vouch for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's no...
Thank you. In that case...
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chu. We've worked together all these years. The least you could...
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain...
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person? I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most...
So, these rumors.
No, not at all. They were in some
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my...
You would think that. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house. That's how...
Every house?
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Shiori. The article was...
What sort?
A photo of you...
Yesterday?
Uchera.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the true Chiyoria boutique takes shape. Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chiyoria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on...
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be...
Yeah, he was the one...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once...
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. They claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People who...
The absurdity. I don't even know what...
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen... But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider?
If we go through with the show together...
If I were young, but I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this. But my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this.
Let
me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way?
Fair enough. Then, I suppose all there's left to say is...
Understood.
So,
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with...
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article?
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all paper... Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand...
That's great! With your help, we might be able...
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera. Monsieur Verret. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went?
She was just here.
If you ask me, I think Chioria Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their...
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Really? How was it?
The owner was plenty fierce.
Oh no, we've lost... Did you hear what all those people were saying?
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so it's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme sometimes. It's easy to...
Oh, this is all Tear's fault! Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone...
That would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure Miss Chiori knows that...
You've got a point. What? Olaf, we're back! Oh, who's this?
Ah, this is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her.
Ah, so you've come across that article?
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, my fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chiori. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes and how pretty they...
And then?
And then, something happened to the business, and we ran into major mora problems. We were able to...
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress?
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It is good. It's just... After I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take...
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to...
Well, see, that wasn't... He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have...
Huh? So...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessory...
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique.
Huh? Well, if it would...
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies.
Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here?
Huh?
Well, we were. Is she...
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would...
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you...
All right, sounds good.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
There you are, Chiori!
How did you know where I...
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get... Wanna sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Sorry about that.
All right, don't mind if we do.
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty...
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind...
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the wall.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined...
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework,
It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on—
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting— Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to—
No wonder you left the—
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day be—
Well, that's a great dream.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to— I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something— Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever— Oh, you mean— Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become— Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day.
Ooh, looks like you've got—
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't—
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors so we can publish all our findings in the Steambird once we're done.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the— I know where Uter's clothing factory is located.
Sounds good. We'll come— As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year.
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating—
But your accessories! Didn't you say your designs were unusable with—
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help thinking about all that. I just can't bear to—
What?
The sea. Seashells cold—
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori! Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitwal? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the— Chiori, will these do?
Everything looks great.
Great! So are we gonna head back now and make some—
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next,
You mean we have to start from scratch?
I should be able to make it.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving—
Ganyu?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime? Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna commit—
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm going to do whatever— all this grit and determination. It reminds me—
What else can we help with?
Let me— I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits current—
You got it!
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma, and I used the scraps to make my entries for the show. I used the— If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all the—
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win.
Okay.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer. Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions. Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the... Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think...
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause he's...
huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits.
Oh. So that's what happened.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some
You and Chiori are really cool.
Of course! Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a plus. With how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agent.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can—
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. When are you going to get started?
Actually, there's some...
Ask away.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on...
Not this again.
Skyward! Scatter! Skyward!
Lenny, Lynette! Great, you're both here.
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about... She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's some...
Okay, so it's like
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the...
Paimon's glad to hear it! Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she...
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court...
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah!
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some...
Alright, we're counting on you! Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said, and meet up with her at Uter's factory in 2 days. We'll gather the evidence then. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey.
Oh, you're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along?
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight,
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically be trespassing on his property?
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but we're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you...
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there.
Why would he open a factory over...
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and...
All right. Ooh, it's...
You make a good point.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please, follow me, dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Oter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the Studio One. These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Ah! Why is it moving?
It seems to have stopped.
Where did this thing take us?
Seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Look out! There are guards here!
Seize the skies!
Tear! Worthless! Tear!
Got him! Got him! inconsequential.
This place is filthy!
Look over there.
Ugh. That water looks super nasty!
And I was the one using unsafe material.
So he was actually the one who opened an underground.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you skin problems.
That's terrifying! Let's take some photos. This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Huh? Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
This place seems like some kind of weird. What? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because
But you're practically at each other's throats.
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. We shared the same goal. So, in the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shat butt with every criticism we received, and every finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed. For my part, I gambled it all and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is...
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. That didn't do anything.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Lament! Worthless!
Warning, warning. Unauthorized.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
Scatter! Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning, warning.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this evidence and get out of here. Finally, the entrance! At last!
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory.
The evidence on your person, you mean? Well,
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about—
oh, but this is—
what? Destroying Chioria Boutique?
proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you?
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal, but it's up to you to decide what it is.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll understand.
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the— You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to—
He realized long ago how utterly—
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never— You think you understand, but you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You regret. Get this whole thing, Uter.
Pathetic. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of to that—
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools.
But more pitiful still are cowards
Who are too afraid to even attempt.
You!
Yeah, just leave this guy to act.
No. You go and...
But he hasn't—
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons are best.
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying to talk tough.
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this. If I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't— Allow me to show you.
The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
An enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin!
the world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one, not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
How about
A little more to the left.
like this?
Perfect.
Phew. Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori,
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after.
well, how can you become renowned through all of Tevat without a fancy signboard of your—
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be...
Ooh, that sounds super snug.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the—
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist—
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite.
Huh?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have need of any costumes in the...
What about something other?
Thank you, Chiori.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger.
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Comania
Actually, that reminds me.
About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine.
What? No, that's so embarrassing.
Ooh, do we get something nice too,
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show. Appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization. Using weaponry in public. Hosting a dangerous performance without—
Shivers, we can explain.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol.
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're—
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Cendre, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have them.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go— Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here. He had a message—
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some—
You know it.
Thanks again, Shelfra.
My pleasure. Oh, that was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right, all right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast. Come on.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to give you.
A place with a view?
Perfect.
Growth prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This is an auspicious era for humanity.